I'm still searching for the 40 buffs. Hi, Zizaran here with a sum up video of the 3.13 patch notes. They came out very, very early. And yeah, I'm going to make like a quick sum up of what I feel is the most important things. And this is not going to include most of the ascendancy changes and stuff like that. But I just wanted to make a quick video for you guys that don't want to watch like a 2-hour reading of the patch notes, which is completely respectful. The first thing I wrote down was since we first encounter Heist at level 6 now, which I think is up here somewhere, but since we first encounter Heist at Act 6, sorry, that means that there might be some free Heist cheese. In Heist League, we could, like, not complete the first contract we're given by Kurai, and then infinitely cheese this for currency. So maybe don't complete the first, like, quest she gives you in the Rogue Harbor, and maybe you might be able to cheese this infinitely in Act 6 for some early alchemies and stuff like that. Might be a decent way to gear right after Kitava if you're struggling here. So pay attention for that. That might be the case. We don't know. Other than that, another big change. Efficacy is now level 8 requirement. That is huge for a lot of builds for early leveling. Essence Drain in particular, which needs some nerfs. It didn't get any. But yeah, the reason I brought that up so early is because ED didn't get nerfed really. It got 2 or 3 less radius on Contagion, and that's pretty much it. Trickster didn't get touched anywhere near enough, considering as we are getting Harvest, so it just gets a huge damage boost, way more than makes up for the small nerf the Ascendancy got. And with 17 radius, it still probably will feel fine with Contagion. And then FXC level 8 makes that you can level it so much nicer, because you can put that on Contagion and Essence Drain early on. In general, I'm a little bit overwhelmed about all the patch notes, but yeah, more so underwhelmed by the aura gem changes, because they're kind of all fucked thanks to aura stackers. Aura stackers are like potentially still doable at a very high level if you put, like, you know, 400 or 500 exalts into them. I haven't played aura stackers enough. I don't fully know. Ask Steel Mage. He'll be able to tell you. But since they're keeping the idea that you should be able to do them, all of the alternate gem quality ones, like the new gems from Heist, are pretty much garbage for every other build, to the point where they're not even exciting to find, and they're only useful if you're stacking aura effects still, because you're getting such things as 1% more damage, 2% more damage, 4% more damage. So most of the alt gems qualities, sure, they normally only give you like more range, so it is just you get 1% increased damage more than you had before, but that's still not something I'm excited about on a build that I just don't care. They might as well be removed from the game. One of them is 0.01 life regen. There's so many of them that 1% movement speed, like why? It's very disappointing in my opinion, at least that part. They should have either just been removed, or Aura Stackers should have been removed. Anyway, on a positive note, Crack Clans does look better. It's something I'm very tempted to make my own League starter. I'm 90% League starting Inquisitor, and Crack Clans will be one of the gems I'm leveling. I am going to have to play around with it. You know, it's always a little bit hard to see ahead of time. But Crack Clans is getting a damage effectiveness buff and like a 29% damage buff. So hopefully that's nice now. The only thing that I wish was changed on Crack Clans was I wish I had something like can gain Intensify stacks with Spell Echo and Unleash. Would have been really cool. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be good at maps, but I'm hopefully trying to use a gem like that. Skeleton Mages look really strong, because I've already seen people doing builds with Skeleton Mages, and they're like getting 50% more damage and double projectile speed. So they might be busted. Could be like super meta. Pretty excited for that. Carrion Golems, while they did get a lot of different nerfs, like obviously Ascendancy is nerfed a bit, Cluster Jewels nerfed a bit. The nerf to Carrion Golems themselves weren't too bad. So I think this could still be a very strong build, regardless of all the nerfs, because they were so insane before. So it should be fine. It should be fine. Blade Blast, Bladefall. There was a small buff to Blades with Blade Vortex, but this doesn't really matter. It's not really the type of build I'm super keen on playing. Bladefall, Blade Blast, Assassin. I don't know. With the nerfs to Assassin and stuff, it's probably not something I want to play on hardcore. It could still be pretty okay on softcore. I haven't looked enough at the numbers. probably okay. However, I would most likely say the Chieftain is a clear winner here. It does feel a little bit clunky early on because you don't have Plague Bearer, for example. But it feels so nice once you do eventually get an explosion chest. So I'm probably leaning more of like the Blade Fast Bladefall build I stole from Noogie on Chieftain, and not the one I stole from Crying and Lily on Assassin. Hex Blast and Doom Blast, both of them like really, really big buffs. So the playstyle is very clunky. I haven't tried it myself, but the damage numbers look like very, very crazy. Even if like the playstyle is kind of clunky and weird. Cobra Lash and Venom Gyre both have gotten like quite a lot of buffs. I really want to make this the league that I try them. They both look pretty exciting, and I just think they're like cool looking skills to begin with. I've just like, they've looked very weak on paper. They look better on paper now. It's something I can see being fairly decent. And next up, again on my list, I have ED is not nerfed, Omega LOL. It's like just the radius nerf, which should still be fine to play with, I think. I don't think the 2 or 3 radius is going to make it feel unplayable, and it's completely fine for bossing, which is what most people use ED on anyway. DD Necro. Detonate Dead Necro is going to be one of the stronger builds, because one of the things that's really, really strong on Necro is when you're able to, I think they're called Crush Claws, but either way, there's one of the Harvest monsters that they have such an insane, ludicrous amount of HP that for a Detonate Dead Necro, they just get so much damage. So, and Necro barely got nerfed for builds like this. And I'm pretty sure this is at least Steel Mage's starter, maybe Waggles as well. So, like, Necro, one of the best ascendancies for that. It's, like, so insane. And also, I can see a lot of people still doing Archmage on Necro as well. Like, Archmage, Cremation, either on Trickster or Necro, but at least we can talk about that now as well. Cremation fully works now. Linked that with, like, 4 before. It was basically 4 linked before, but now all the links are working properly. Shield Throw might be playable now. Both Shield Charge and Shield Throw, Spectral Throw, got buffs. So they do look better now. I don't know if they're viable. It's like kind of a skill that's been like a large meme for a long time, because it's just not really being good. But they did get buffs. They might be better. I definitely wouldn't miss League starting with that. Winter Orb got a duration buff. Winter Orb is now 1.6 from 1.2. That is actually pretty big, because anything with base is pretty big. It would be fun to try it on Inquisitor. I don't know if it's going to be good. Probably wouldn't risk League starting with it. Some people, for example, people called Nugian, he's very excited about Frostbomb. It did get quite a lot of buffs. I just don't like the gem mechanically, but hopefully we see some really fucking cool builds come out of that. I'm not a huge fan, but yeah. And also, all of these orbs have just gotten an orb gem tag. So this is probably like, they'll probably end up adding things like +1 orb gems and stuff eventually. I'm sure they'll make use of this. Similar to like how some skills have like the lightning tag. Caustic Arrow and Toxic Rain. Caustic Arrow had no changes at all, so it's just, you know, good still. And Toxic Rain got a, well, I mean, it's basically unchanged, but for builds that are doing the actual hit damage, then they are buffed slightly. But yeah, it's still one of the strongest starters in the game. Very, very strong. So definitely think this is going to be a lot of people's starters. Impaler Call of Steel got absolutely busted. It is absolutely destroyed. The way it would work now, you can technically still do this build. The way it would work is you do your war cries, you hit the monster, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you do Call of Steel, and you'll do the same damage as before, basically. I hope Karn will do this and just be stubborn and be like, it still works, crying face. But this sounds horrible to play. One use case I see for this is like the Maven fight. There's like 10 bosses. You actually might be able to one-shot all of them with one Call of Steel suck. So not a huge fan of the Call of Steel stuff now, but it's still decent. We'll talk about the Zana mods briefly as well. Here we go, Zana League mods. We have Warbands, Anarchy, Ambush, Domination, Perandus, Beyond, and Legion. It's really, really good that we have Beyond and Legion. These are good. I don't really care about these, especially when there's such a low chance for Kadira. If it was 50-50, like a coin flip, I'd probably be more excited about it. And Fortune Favors the Brave is not particularly strong this league, unlike last league. And more importantly, there is no Nemesis on this. That means, and very important, you cannot Chance Orb or Ancient Orb a Headhunter for the entire duration of the league. There is nothing that you as a player can do to Chance Orb or Ancient Orb or Headhunter, no matter what. Rolling a map with Nemesis will not let you do this. So important to remember that. Talismans, where are that? Talismans and a few other things have been given like a new 5-to-1. Basically, what it means, we're hoping this doesn't affect maps, but the way you're currently 3-to-1ing maps should be unchanged. But you can now 5-to-1 maps, and sorry, you can 5-to-1 talismans and get a new one. Hopefully this includes an anoint. That means that you could keep, for example, 5 spine fused talismans, vendor them, and you will get a new spine fused talisman on whatever the lowest item level was. Hopefully it rerolls both the stats and the anoint, but we haven't tried this yet. Maps is also going to be dropping at a proper level from like Delve and the Temple of Atsuodal. Sometimes you're just getting a shit ton of level 2 maps and stuff, but now they're actually using your Atlas. So that's really, really good. And we now have high level cartographer strongboxes. Cartos now drop all the, go all the way up to tier 16. They just get like rare. Somebody corrected me. You can get infused Nemesis Harvest Craft. That is actually correct. And I completely forgot about that. That is correct. You can get infused Nemesis from Harvest because they haven't removed any of the Harvest Crafts. You were right. I was wrong. So you can still do that. Other than that, the only other change is Cyrus is appearing in Conqueror maps now. That just means that it'll probably be similar to the Shaper. Personally, I hope that they've like fucked up the damage scaling on this and that it's gonna one-hit us, because I think that would be hilarious if there's an extra 0 there and we just hear die and you literally die. That would be kind of funny for a day, and I'll be tilted when I lose a character to it. But anyway, that's like the main changes. That's like a nice TLDR. Quick thoughts. I'm very excited about the expansion and the league. Both of them look strong. I think this is the first time where I've seen that they have like a league and expansion that I think are both really cool. I'm looking forward to. The patch notes are very underwhelming. I'm very, very underwhelmed by the patch notes. I don't think the patch notes are particularly excited. I was expecting way more skill buffs after all the ascendancy nerfs. But still very excited for the league, like the all the stuff with Maven, the Ascendancy stuff, more autonomy over our Atlas skill tree and stuff like that. There's so many cool things in the Maven orb. So fucking exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. Sub if you like the videos. Thanks for watching. Loads of league starters coming soon. And try to die less than I do.